XAUKING. Today we're looking at where gold is going. Okay, so it's Monday and you're probably wondering what's going to happen to gold, how far is it going, and so on. Basically, I have my chart here. It's clear as crystal. All right, the red or brownish area here on my chart represents the bearish order block. All right, this is a bearish order block or a bearish area. If price had to go in there and tap into it, its price was going to sell. So this rather happened already last week. As you can see, we have five candles in this on this level. This is today's candle, and the five previous candles belong to last week. Okay, so this was Monday's candle, Tuesday's candle dropped and then tapped into it, and now it is a sell continuation. Now the question is, until when or where will price continue to drop? So price will continue to drop all the way down here. Okay, this is 46, so 3,246 is where we expect price to drop all the way to. Now let's bear a few things in mind. If you look on my chart, clearly you will see that we have R4, R3, R2, R1. R on my chart represents resistance levels. The PP stands for pivot point, okay, or the signal entry point. Basically, if price was to close the candles above the PPP area, we could be looking to buy all the way to R1, R2, R3, and R4. And then if price were to close below PPP, just as it did on the lower time frames, not on the daily, then we would be aiming to set our take profit targets to S1, S2, S3, and S4, which stand for support and resistances. Now, as you can see, we have an interesting buy area on the daily time frame order block, which is much awaited for today's setup. So we will be looking to take our buy entries initially on the 3,247 and then 3,215 area. So this would be our buying level. If you would like to get your hands on this type of software that I'm using in order to analyze the charts, do not hesitate to contact me, okay? And then join my Telegram channel. All this information will be delivered right over to you. So like and subscribe to my channel. Now let's move over to the most important part of trading, which is the technical analysis part. On the technical analysis part, all we'll do is analyze gold just to see where we can actually expect to buy and do our own markups, because despite using software, you cannot be 100% dependent on it, because this just gives you insight on what's going to happen, but now you have to accurately plot your entries on the lower time frames and set up your target points on the lower time frames. Now let's do this. Let's move on to the next section, and then we move on to fundamentals. All right, enjoy. The second section of this analysis, just make sure you open your charts on the on the weekly time frame for this one, and we will have to look at a few things. Now remember that on the weekly time frame, we want to check what we are currently looking at. So you must know that the weekly candle, these two weekly candles, clearly give us a downtrend momentum, right? We are in a downtrend, all right? So because we are on a downtrend, we will be focusing on conducting our technical analysis on the lower time frames, focused on a downtrend setup, but not ignoring reversal setups. Okay, anything can happen because price has been dropping for the past 2 weeks, and as you can see, this is a massive rejection candle, which can indicate that price will be looking to tap into this level here, and then this level here respectively. All right, but these are very far off, so we'll go on the daily time frame, and that's where we will maintain our focus. But for now, we can just mark up. All right, let's mark up the area. We can say that this is our weekly high, okay, previous weekly high, and then this would be our previous weekly low. Basically, this is where price might get to today. Okay, it will go and tap the weekly low before doing any upward movements. Okay, now if we go on the daily time frame, just for confluence, you will realize that price is very close to that area, but just below it. All right, so let me just adjust this correctly, because we want to make sure that we always have the correct price. We always have our lines at the correct price, okay, so that we don't miss anything. All right, this is also a bit high. All right, so somewhere around there. Now we want price to tap into this area first, and then we have something interesting right below this level. And the interesting thing here that I'm noticing is the space, okay, between this candle with this candle. This is the first thing that I've noticed. And then the second thing is, just below that space, we have a very important candle, all right, which is this one. So we'll just mark it up, okay. This is our very important candle. And if we are looking for any reversals, this area or this region of the chart would give us the most comfortable entry available right now on gold. Okay, so this is how we have it all set up. We can say this is our IPD area for now, immediate price delivery area, which basically means that once price gets all the way down here, it will simply hit and then move upwards. All right, this is where we will be looking to see an upward move. Now we have to mark our daily levels as well. So the previous daily level, I'll just call it previous daily level because it was Friday's candle. So this is Friday's candle. That's gonna be our previous daily high, because gold doesn't trade during the weekend, we'll just call it that. And then this will be our previous daily low, PDH, and then PDL. Now, because price has not yet tapped into the previous weekly low, the previous week's low, which was basically the one that I just called previous daily low here, we have to wait for price to go all the way down here, take this level out, maybe tap into this level as well, and then move up. But because we have a very interesting level here, okay, there's so much possibility where we would say, let me just go on the 4-hour time frame, but basically it would be above the descending channel, basically. All right, so it would be above the descending channel. Now if you look at how price is actually phased right now, let me just place this here and just adjust everything, because I like perfect lines at perfect levels. I need to make sure that I'm accurate, as much accurate as possible, so that I don't miss out on anything. This is very important. Okay, so let me shift this a bit closer to us. For example, we will start from the top and go all the way to the bottom, for example. All right, this time I'll consider the weeks. You will realize that the E level is above the channel. So we can say that we will safely be on a good buy trend once price breaks this, comes back for a retest, and then we move like this. This is how we want. If we are looking for buys at this level, this is how we want things to be. But at this point, okay, at this point, we are looking at a short to the downside, okay, breaking structure of the previous weekly low, the previous daily low, retesting the area, and then continuation to the order block, and then a bounce up once more. Okay, so this is something that we can expect. Okay, I expect it to be around this level, mainly because the rule states that for buys we should be looking for the last bearish candle before the bullish move. And if we look clearly, the bullish move that broke structure, okay, it's this one, right? So the bullish move that broke structure, this is a structure point, structure level. This is an order block, so the bearish candle, the last bearish candle that broke structure is around here. So this area is an area of here, and then we'll take buys all the way to the E level. All right, this is the most perfect trade you could take this week if you are patient enough. Okay, now if you wish to see how this will play out, do not forget to subscribe, like, join the link in the description, because that is where I'll be posting all the information. So the link in the description is basically for our free Telegram channel. You don't have to worry about paying anything. It's free. You join the channel, it's free. You get a few trade setups per day for free of charge. If you want to go for VIP, that's on you. If you also want to do my course with me, you can also contact me directly. I'll leave my WhatsApp details there for more information. And guys, do not worry, everything is affordable. This is going to give you a lot of money, basically, if I have to say, this setup. If you're patient, it's going to pay you a lot. Okay, so let's do the last point of refinement. So if we have to refine, like I just said, you could possibly gray out this area. I mean, like, you know, make it a bit more visible for yourself. Remember that we draw things on our charts to remind us of what's going to happen, and we don't forget where things are going to happen. Okay, let me just stretch this out a bit so that I can then move it. Okay, this is really amazing. So this level here is going to be our most important level for entries. Okay, exactly grayed up. So we will be part of the channel, stands for 50% of the channel. It's actually by Fibonacci, and then this stands for support. So basically, price might get to the area, it might reach the order block and then bypass it, tap into the 50% of this descending channel line, and then move all the way up to touch the channel line again, which is somewhere around this level here, basically, where the initial breakout must happen before we can consider that it's a real sell continuation to the downside. And as you can see, price basically formed a heads and shoulder pattern, and it should be concluded somewhere around this area. So it's basically a lot of confluence that gives us confirmation that price might continue to sell off for the rest of the day. Now let's wait for New York session to see what happens, but for now this is what we are with. Thank you so much for your time and your patience. Get ready for more information in the upcoming days. Ciao.